Hello everyone, today we will study SST. We will study about our past, about early man. Let's start with the chapter, the Stone Age. In present time, we are living in modern age, where technology has taken a toll in our lives. Everything is mechanized. We have an electric stove for cooking, a mixer for grinding, mobile phone for communicating, heater for heating, metros for transport, and many more. Have you ever wondered what type of life you would be living without all these things, or if you were living with early men? But what about early men? How was their lifestyle? To know the past, we need to look at the records of the past, which can be in the form of material remains or written records. Historians divide human history into two big periods. Prehistory is the period of the past before invention of writing, whereas history is the period of past after invention of writing. Let's start with prehistory. Prehistory, it is the time before writing was invented. It is the period of time from the appearance of the first human being to the invention of writing. It started 3 million years ago and lasted to 3000 BC. BC stands for before Christ. Prehistory is divided into three stages: Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age. In Stone Age, tools used by humans were made from stone, whereas in Bronze and Iron Age, tools were made from metals. Historian has divided whole Stone Age into three periods: Paleolithic period, Mesolithic period, and Neolithic period. Thus, main division of prehistory from Stone Age to Metal Age are: first, Paleolithic Age or Old Stone Age; second, Mesolithic Age or Middle Stone Age; third, Neolithic Age or New Stone Age; fourth, Chalcolithic Age or Copper Age or Bronze Age; fifth, Iron Age. Let's start with Old Stone Age.
The Stone Age was the period during which stone was the most widely used material for making tools and weapons. Based on the types of tools used, the Stone Age can be divided into three periods. These are the Paleolithic Age or the Old Stone Age, the Mesolithic Age or the Middle Stone Age, and the Neolithic Age or the New Stone Age. Paleolithic man lived in caves and rock shelters. He was a nomad who wandered from place to place in search of food. He did not know how to produce food. He survived by hunting wild animals and birds, fishing and gathering wild plants, berries, nuts, roots and tubers. Hence, he is called the hunter-gatherer. Paleolithic man realized the advantages of living in groups. It enabled him to hunt large animals and to share food which was scarce and decayed easily. It also provided security against natural dangers. Flake tools were made from the sharp pieces or flakes that broke off while shaping core tools. These were useful for chopping meat and skinning animals. Remains of ash at some Paleolithic sites led to the conclusion that fire was known to Paleolithic man. Paleolithic remains have been found at many places in the Deccan, such as Pune, Nasik, and Chirki Nivasa in Maharashtra, Hunsgi in Karnataka, and Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh. Mesolithic Age, also called the Middle Stone Age, brought about a change in the lifestyle of Paleolithic period. During this period, the climate of the world was getting warmer, which led to an increase in the variety of plants and animals. Hunting and gathering food became easier and human survival rate increased. Mesolithic people learned to hunt in groups and to fish. They also learned to domesticate plants and animals. Dog was the first animal to be domesticated. Later, they started domesticating sheep, goat, and cattle. Gradually, they became herders and farmers. They started growing crops like barley and wheat. Man's main occupation remained hunting and gathering food, but his tools improved gradually. Stone tools were now made from microliths, tiny chips of stone blades. They were then stuck onto handles and bones or wood to make saws, axes, harpoons, and fish hooks. Fishing became popular and fish became an important food item. The bow and the arrow were invented during the Mesolithic era. Most of them lived in rock shelters and caves. They moved seasonally following animal movements and plant changes. In many places, settled communities were found near coasts and in river valleys. Houses varied from round to rectangular and were built on wooden posts around a central hearth. In India, Mesolithic remains have been found in Mysore and parts of western and central India. The period following the Mesolithic age is called the Neolithic age or the New Stone Age. It began in India during 8000 to 4000 BC. Beginning of agriculture and living in a community was the most important development of this period, but hunting continued to be the main livelihood. In the Neolithic age, man turned from a food gatherer into a food producer. He moved into larger settlements, cultivated fields, grew crops, and lived a settled life. Remains of animal bones and shelters found at Neolithic sites suggested that they tamed, bred, and raised animals, especially those animals which were mild-natured. Thus, domesticated animals gradually became different from wild animals. Over the years, man learned to select, preserve, and sow good quality seeds. Thus, domesticated plants became different from wild varieties of the same types. Neolithic man used harder stones to make tools and polished the blades to make them sharper according to his needs. They also made spindles and bone needles. For keeping the food grains for a longer period, they started making baskets out of wild grass and applied clay around it. Later, they started making clay vessels also. They even dug pits into the ground to store food. The most remarkable invention of Neolithic man was the wheel. It helped them to improve transport. Potter's wheel improved the process of making pots. A village life consisted of a few closely built houses surrounded by a common fence of prickly bush or mud wall. The concept of families came into being in this age, and a group of families living and sharing together customs, beliefs, and practices was called a tribe. Men had occupations such as hunting, plowing, grazing herds of animals. Women took care of home and children and light agricultural tasks. Both men and women took part in pot making, weaving, and making tools, weapons, and ornaments. They worshipped water, fire, rain, and thunder, as also the sun, the earth, and the stars.
Barter system was in the trend for exchanging goods in this age. Barter system is a system of exchange where goods are directly exchanged for other goods without using money as a medium of exchange. So children, this video presentation was all about Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic age. In next video, we will study about Metal Age, the remaining two periods of prehistory, that is Copper Age and Iron Age. Thank you.